morning. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. I have some good news for you if you're heading out the door. We're not looking at any active problems. The one problem that we did have over on the southbound 427 south of the 401 on the shoulder is now on the shoulder. So we are looking at things starting to really start to move through this area. We are still looking at foggy conditions, though, on the westbound 401 heading through Durham region. So do give yourself that extra time. A little bit slick out there as well. So westbound 401, that is busy from Simcoe to about west of Highway 412. And that's all volume and really poor visibility. So give yourself that extra time. Once you get towards Scarborough, looks like things are slowing down on the westbound 401 from Morningside to Kennedy, alternately Express and Collectors, and then that is where it opens up. During the Canadian Cancer Society CIBC Run for the Cure, you don't have to run. You can walk, stroll, whatever you like. Just promise you'll be there on October 6th. Now, Frankie, over to you.
Thanks, Steph. Okay, well, if you're going to go for a walk or stroll this morning, what you're going to notice is that jet streams allowed some warmer air towards the city of Toronto. Right now, we have a temperature of 20. We have 26 in St. Louis this morning. Humidex of 27, a Humidex in Muskoka of 26. Bancroft, earlier this week, Bancroft was sitting at around -1. Right now, you have a feels like a 24. What a difference a couple days just makes. Now, that wet weather, the thunderstorm activity that we saw through last night, that lightning show well off towards the east, and behind it, we're going to deal with some cloud cover. For today, there is a slight risk of pop-up showers through the afternoon. After midnight, greater risk of seeing wet weather. And it looks like tomorrow morning, we'll start off that morning commute soggy. So high today, 28, Humidex 33 to 35. Summer feeling. Tomorrow, we're back to more late summer, early fall feeling of 20 degrees. The morning showers, they'll wrap up, will be dry through the afternoon. However, Friday, for those that work outdoors, it looks like it's going to be wet Friday. Daytime highs Friday, 22. Winds out of the east at about 20 to 30 kilometers per hour. Let's send it over to your news now.
And we're going to begin on our streets. The SIU investigating after a man dies during an interaction with Peel Regional Police. Officers responded here to a disturbance call around 9 o'clock last night at a residence on Morning Star Drive near Gorway Drive in Mississauga. There was some sort of interaction with the man. It's alleged the man was tasered and then taken to hospital in serious condition where he later died. A resident in the area describing what he saw.
I just seen the cops show up yelling, open up the door, and the door opened, guns were drawn, tasers were drawn, tased the kid, doors are shut, drag him outside the front door, and next thing you know, they're pumping his stomach.
And we are standing by a live look at the scene, which is on Morningstar Drive. That witness says he knew the man, believes he was in his early 30s. His name has not been officially released. It looks like SIU has now shown up at the scene here. They, of course, invoke their mandate when a member of the public is injured or dies during an interaction with police. Well, many of us will never forget where we were when we heard the news. 18 years ago today, nearly 3,000 people died in the 9/11 terror attacks. Hijacked planes crashing into the World Trade Center, sending plumes of smoke into the sky, ultimately collapsing the Twin Towers. 2 flights also crashing into the Pentagon and in Pennsylvania. Millions of lives and security around the world, never the same since that day. Commemorations will be held in all 3 places today. U.S. President Trump attending the one at the Pentagon. Across the U.S., there is a push to teach kids about what happened to make sure the victims are never forgotten. Let's get to some U.S. politics now. The third time was not the charm for the job of National Security Advisor in the Trump administration. The president suddenly firing John Bolton yesterday. The two said to have major foreign policy disagreements over North Korea, Iran, Afghanistan, and Russia. Bolton, known for wanting tougher approaches, even called a warmonger. With him gone, North Korea could warm up to restarting nuclear talks with the U.S. Israeli aircraft struck in Gaza today, hours after rockets from the Palestinian enclave triggered sirens that forced Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu off the stage at an election rally in Israel. The Israeli military said 15 targets were hit, including a weapons manufacturing facility and Hamas tunnels. There were no immediate reports of casualties. Netanyahu was rushed to a shelter, but later returned to continue his speech. The PM says if he wins next week's election, he will annex the West Bank's Jordan Valley.